I've been coming to the camp here since 2007.
5 years. 5 years. This is my third year.
I think it's year 9.
I don't know how long I've been coming here. It's been that long.
Coming here has really made me the person that I am today.
I don't really know. It's just like, I just feel like so comfortable coming here.
Making memories with my friends is what I look forward to all year, and I just can't wait to get back on the island and meet new people.
Welcome to another episode of Prep Camp Diaries, where we peek behind the curtain and into the lives of amazing alumni of the West Coast Hockey Prep Camp doing cool things in the world. I'm Nate Leslie. I'm a certified executive coach, and I also have the honor of being the executive director of the West Coast Hockey Prep Camp. Today, I'm really excited to sit down with the remarkable Phoebe Staenz, a name synonymous with excellence both on the rink and now the skating track. Phoebe's a 3-time Olympian, earning bronze in 2014, attended Yale University, now a key member of the Swiss national speed skating team, and also working full-time in the finance industry in Zurich. What really sets Phoebe apart is her pioneering spirit. It was over a decade and a half ago, Phoebe, that you were about 15 years old, and you were the first woman to ever skate in our college and pro group at the West Coast Prep Camp. And so you came in there super skilled, confident, and you've just been a trailblazer ever since. Welcome to Prep Camp Diaries.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. I got very excited when I saw the invitation, so it's very nice to be back and talk about my experience.
Yeah, great. And as many listeners who have attended camp know, one of our varsity groups at camp is the Stens group. So for those players listening, here she is. Here is Phoebe. Now, Phoebe, 3 times in the Olympics, starting in 2014, you won a bronze that first time, 2014, 2018, 2022, and now, newly into the finance world, you've also decided to shoot for the stars and try to compete in the Olympics in speed skating. Tell us first about that transition from hockey to speed skating, and maybe what was great about it or what was hard.
Yeah, so the question I get a lot is how come hockey's so much fun? Why wouldn't you stay in hockey? Not that skating isn't fun, but I feel like for all the hockey players out there, the first couple of weeks of summer are just skating in circles, and it sucks, to be honest. So everybody always asks me why would you do that to yourself? But there's always something that I've really enjoyed about skating. What I enjoy very much about speed skating on short track is the competition that I have between people, so the racing in itself, but then at the same time, the speed. So the faster you go, the more fun it is, even though you're in so much pain and there's a lot of training involved, but it's just a lot of fun. And then, so I decided I would retire from hockey in 2022 after the Olympics. That was kind of my peak, my high, and that was for me a good time to retire. But personally, I wasn't ready to retire as an athlete just yet. So during COVID, Switzerland, kind of everything shut down, especially women's hockey. We couldn't really train, and I wanted to keep myself fit. And the way I kept myself fit was joining the speed skaters in their off-ice sessions whenever I had the chance. And that's how I got into it. So it was quite an easy transition. There's a big program here pushing for short track, and we're trying to build up to short track in Switzerland itself because we have the facilities. We have so many ice rinks, so it's very easy actually to build a sport. We're just trying to get the kids and the athletes involved. And transitioning athletes from ice hockey or figure skating is rather easy in a way, so we're kind of cherry picking from those sports and trying to build athletes here. And I just was fortunate and lucky enough in the timing that it was when I retired that they started building this program, and I decided to give it a try.
Wow. So I introduced you as a pioneer. I mean, going back to your elite days in hockey and the impact that you had on our camp, but here you go again. You're actually on the ground floor of the Swiss Speed Skating Federation, trying to build up the sport in your own country. Am I hearing you right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of the goal, because we do have speed skating. That's kind of like the umbrella that we have. It's called speed. So we have short track and the long track speed skating, but long track speed skating is bigger. There's more athletes there. People have been involved longer.
So let's take a step back now into your hockey career, because another first that you did, I don't think there was many young Swiss women leaving Switzerland and the education system there to come to high school in North America play at POE, play at Choate, and then end up at Yale University. Tell us a little bit about the courage that it took to take that leap.
Yeah, so thinking back, I don't know so much about courage. It's more so something that I really wanted to do. And I was fortunate enough for my parents and my brother's support. I mean, the whole family supporting me in this. So for me, I never thought about like, oh, should I do this? Shouldn't I do that? It was just a way that I had to go if I wanted to play at the top of my sport and be the best that I could be. But at the same time, not forget about my education. And college hockey is the best way to combine that. I mean, for any sport, I keep looking at the whole educational system, the way they combine athletics and academics. And it's definitely a role model or a model that I find many countries should mimic, and I wish we had that more in Switzerland, but that was the route I wanted to take. So when I think back, I don't really think about courage because I just knew this is what I want to do, and I guess this is what I need to do. And it was easy because of the support I had from back home.
You've always been really driven. I've watched you, again, since you were 15 years old, just go and do it. When I think of you, I just think of she's just going to go and do it. How old were you when you I want to leave home. I want to leave the continent. I want to go to North America and make this happen.
I think that push, it's been a while.
It was a long time ago.
So again, I think it very much comes down to the support system you have. And like my parents recognize this is something I love to do and I want to do. And so, I mean, that's something I also take from my parents that in the future I'd like to do if I do ever have kids is guide them in the right direction without them even really knowing what's happening. So like, I don't think with my parents, I would have played on the right teams. I would have met the right people. I would have gone to your camp. That was all my mom, researching all that, getting us on the flights and booking everything for us. So it's not so much like, how did I know I needed to do this? I think it was more guidance from my parents knowing that I have the potential to actually make this if she gets me on the right track, like my mom, for instance, and then it happened from there. So for me, it was very much my parents because at such a young age, I see it with my youngest brother too. It's very much privilege that I had and that he has, and I would really want him or any athlete to have is to focus solely on the sport and your skills. And then hopefully you have, coaches ideally looking out for you, your team's looking out for you, making sure you get on the right team, you're having the right training to reach bigger things, beyond maybe the club you play for, beyond the country that you're in.
So that my observation of you kind of extends to Penelope and your parents, where they just had the means to make things happen and okay, this is our plan. Let's just go and do it. And now all these years later, youngest brother, Zach, who was 7 or 8 back then, is attending. Yeah. So your family has been a big part of our journey as a camp and seen us grow as well. So we thank you all for so many years of contributing to the spirit at camp, whether it's your brother breaking chin-up records or you being a pioneer joining our college and pro men's group, right? What record is Zach going to break this year? I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but tell us what he's going to bring.
I would say give him the number that Josh did and he will just try and beat it by 1 as long as he gets the record. But if you tell him that, man, he's going to be very, very motivated. Motivated.
All right, Zach, if you're listening, you got a challenge.
Yeah, definitely. So like, I can't leave this one out. Winning the medal, I mean, you really can't beat that. Even now, I'm like, it's kind of still very much unbelievable that I actually have a medal. Like, so to speak, lying around, as everybody would say.
Where's it lying around?
No, it's not actually lying around anymore. Like I propped it up nicely. I put aside a collection. Yeah, but I used to hide it in my wardrobe. But now I kind of put it on display. But it's I was young, but I have to say, what I still enjoyed the most outside of the sport itself, like, of course, you train so long to get there. And then when you get there, there's all this pressure and you're really focused. It was still meeting all the people and meeting all the athletes, just knowing that everybody feels the same way. Everybody's put in the work. Everybody's really excited to be here. You go through ups and downs together. I mean, like even watching athletes on the ski hill, like if they won or maybe it didn't go their way that day, like there was a lot of empathy and you knew exactly what they were going through, or you could potentially see what you might be going through. So sharing the whole experience is what has stayed with me for the whole time. And that's why like a big part of me wanting to go to another Olympics is that I could have my family and friends there. Because when we went to Beijing, it was a shame the country was locked down, because like going into it, maybe knowing it's your last one, you do want to share that experience with everybody. And not being able to do that was a bit disappointing for me. So I was hoping maybe I'll do another and then everybody can be a part of it and sharing it, because everybody's always a part of it, also working towards such a goal. So it's nice to share also the big success and the big party, so to say, at the end.
Yeah, so you're driven now by being able to share that with friends and family. And so you are a couple of years into this speed skating journey that started by training with the speed skating athletes during COVID. In very short order, you competed in your first World Cup, your first European Championship, and you qualified for the World Championships and then chose not to attend because you were literally, why? In your first
Week
of your new job, right? So here
Correct.
you are, trying to be an Olympian in a second sport. Tell the audience, our athletes, a little bit about what you're doing now in your professional life, in your second professional.
So in my second professional life, I work in finance. So I'm an equity trader, execution trader, for a bank in Switzerland. I used to work for one of the bigger banks, international banks in Zurich, but they got bought up by the other one. So now there's only 2 or 3 smaller banks that can compete. And it's actually a very exciting time, I find, as well, here in the financial hub of Switzerland. And I just I enjoy being on the trading floor, because the trading floor to me seems like a hockey locker room, or generally just like an athletic event where it's very high paced. You have to be very accurate. Yeah, there's really ups and downs all the time. There's a lot to lose. There's a lot to gain. So to me, it's kind of a sports world, athletic world, a hockey locker room away from what I've been used to. And it's, I guess, somewhere I kind of bloom, because like I like working under pressure. I like working with different people. I like the numbers and all the adrenaline. So yeah, it's an addiction, to be honest. It's an addictive personality.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Addictive personality. So that's part of being such a driven late and now professional. It's almost 11 p.m. in Zurich for you right now, and you're just getting close to finishing up there because the market's open in North America, right?
Yeah. So they opened at 3 p.m. our time and they closed 10 p.m. So yeah, I'm off the clock now. Otherwise, I would have a different.
Right. Yeah. You'd be missing some opportunities, some training opportunities right now. You consider yourself what was your word? A dual professional?
Yeah, like dual career.
Dual career.
I can't remember what I used for a word. I put it on my CV, but yeah, dual career pursuant, I guess, is the word.
Listeners out there trying to justify making time to train or not time to train, then we look at women like you who, on the women's side of the game, until very, very recently with the PWHL, have always needed that second job. But talk a little bit about when things are tough, on days that you're tired, when you still find the energy to balance being an equity trader and an Olympian.
It's not easy, to be honest. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or, pretend like it's something that it's not. It's extremely time consuming. So time management is at the core of all of this. Time management and energy management, if we do want to label this. But those 2 things are very important. I think that when I was younger, like I still have the same amount of energy. It just takes me longer, let's say, to recover from certain things. Like could also just be, mentally, socially, like if you're just drained emotionally, it becomes very, very difficult. But generally my I'm lucky enough to still have, but it's just the time that I need to manage. And that's sharing between not just work and sports, it's also my family, and my friends. How do I, take care of all of these relationships? But it's getting tougher and tougher, I have to say. When I was young, I trained a lot. So I think now I just need to really work on the details, not overwork myself, but really focus my training and really be, let's say, in the zone for, even if it's just now, or that has become way more important than the quantity. So quality is definitely at a higher priority right now. But I think I'm fortunate that way, because throughout all my teenage years and my low 20s, let's say, or all of my 20s, I was training extremely hard. So I think I have a good foundation, and now I just really work on the details that are needed in order to excel at my
I like
sport.
that. I like that. You have a life of building that foundation, and now it's about not logging the hours, but logging a really quality hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Phoebe, what could you share with our listeners about the impact that our camp has had on your life, your family's life, that comes to mind for you?
Yeah, so the first thing that comes to mind for me again is the people, generally the coaches, but also all the athletes that I met. At that time was boys and girls, and also spending the time with my brothers. But also I had a friend come up and join the camp because she heard I was going to it, and that she could also get on the ice with the pros or like with the boys, the junior boys, and it was just a really good experience because we were able to challenge ourselves, and at the same time I felt that we challenged others, especially thinking about the female male divide in hockey. That way we integrated with the boys, and I mean that was also thanks to you allowing that kind of integration, and I feel like we opened up a lot of minds, but also for me it was different because like I knew what it's like back home, but what is it like overseas. It was just an overall great camp, and also we stayed with billet families that we're still in touch with, like Nancy and Larry. It's always a pleasure seeing them, and I'll miss them this year, but my parents are already trying to, get to dinner with them. Port Alberni's just great. Yeah. So if anyone can get out to your camp, I would really recommend it. And I've already recommended it to younger players here in Switzerland, and I hope they get the chance. It's a long travel, but it's definitely worth it.
Well, we speak fondly of you in your absence and have really
Thank you.
enjoyed watching your career and proud of everything that you've achieved, and are so grateful for your family's contribution to making camp even better. Thanks for your time,
Thank
Phoebe.
you. Thank you so much, Nate.